Donald Trump is panicking as Iran is refusing to agree to any ceasefire with the United States. Donald Trump's war against Iran is spiraling out of control. Donald Trump is trying to pretend to be tough, but everybody in the world just sees how weak he is right now. Donald Trump called up Mary Bruce of ABC, and she asked him if he's worried about the risk at home, if he's worried about the loss of life, if he's worried that Americans can now be targeted by terrorist attacks from Iran. Donald Trump told ABC, "I'm not worried about anything at all. I'm not worried." On the economic fallout of the war with Iran and rising gas prices, Donald Trump said, "I think it's fine. It's a little glitch. We had to take this detour. I knew exactly what was going to happen with the detour." While the American people didn't. This detour, you mean an unlawful war where American soldiers have already died, where the Middle East is now engulfed in war, and you have no exit strategy? Then in this phone call with Mary Bruce, Donald Trump says everything is on the table when it comes to ground forces or the news that he and Netanyahu are potentially planning to send special forces into Iran to capture the enriched uranium. Donald Trump says that Iran was planning to attack the entire Middle East. Iran was trying to take over all of the Middle East. That's why Donald Trump said we had to invade. So they're now just changing the story once again. It's just so utterly despicable that we have a regime that lies about literally everything. And Donald Trump says that if Iran chooses the next Ayatollah without consulting Donald Trump, he said the new one won't last long. They must consult me. I must be the one who picks the Ayatollah for them. They don't want you to pick their Ayatollah, Donald. And if you look at what's going on in Iran right now, look at how it actually visually looks. Black rain, nuclear winter essentially is descending on Iran. The United States and Israel keep on hitting these oil depots in Iran, and so it's raining this black rain. You have the sewage in Iran right now filled with the oil, and it's ignited, so you have fire basically everywhere. It's a scene straight out of hell in Iran right now with these Armageddon-like smoke clouds descending the entire city of Tehran and nearby areas into darkness. But then you also have Iran striking back with their cluster munitions and other ballistic missiles and Shahid drones. Look at the aftermath of these cluster bomb attacks right here in Israel, specifically in Tel Aviv and in nearby cities as well, where Iran is inflicting a lot of damage there. Also, after the Trump regime stuck the desalination plants in Iran to try to deprive the people of Iran of purified water, Iran then attacked the desalination plants in Bahrain and had a direct strike there. I think it's critical that you all know that, yes, oil is usually thought of as the most prized possession in the Middle East, but purified water, drinking water in the Middle East is actually the most significant thing that keeps it going. So when the United States struck the ability of Iran to purify water, Iran did it to Bahrain. And if that continues to escalate, that is a massive problem. It's why other Arab countries do not want to be drawn into this thing. And, Donald Trump is out there, again, talking tough. I'll show you in a minute what the foreign minister of Iran saying, that we don't want a ceasefire. We think that we have the upper hand right now. We're going to drag this out. We're going to keep on going. So Donald Trump sends his sycophant, Lindsey Graham, to do his rounds on the morning shows. Let me show you what Lindsey Graham said moments ago on state regime media. Let's play this clip.
I'm not looking for a fair fight. If we get in a fight, I want to win it. I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned. Yeah. The liberation of Cuba is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. You see this hat? Make Iran great. President Trump said the only way to make Iran great is for the people to take over. We're marching through the world. We're cleaning out the bad guys. We're going to have relationships with new people that will make us prosperous and safe. I've never seen anybody like it. This is Ronald Reagan plus. Donald Trump is resetting the world in a way nobody could have dreamed of a year ago. He is the greatest commander-in-chief of all time. Our military is the best of all time. Iran is going down, and Cuba is next.
Do you hear what he said there? We're going to be marching through the world. And then he's able to sell Donald Trump on these wars, and Donald Trump buys into him on the basis of merch. And we're marching through the world, descending death upon the world. This is what the United States is doing. This should be horrifying and make you beyond pissed, regardless of what political party you are from right now. I mean, this is absolutely horrible, horrible stuff right here. More from Lindsey Graham right there. He goes, now to our Arab friends, you're getting hit too. You want treaties with the United States? We shouldn't be going it alone. You should join us. Here, play this clip.
Americans who died in the defense of our country. Now, to our Arab friends, you're being hit too. Has any Arab country struck Iran? Now, if you want a treaty with the United States, you need to get in this fight. Now, America's not going to the Mideast just to fight alone. So I'm urging our Arab allies to fight back. You're being hit too. So
you should join. That's your pitch. While you say we're going to be marching through the entire world, you know, you've decimated. You want to talk about the word decimated? You've decimated the reputation of all of these Arab nations, whether it's Qatar and how they wanted to present Doha, whether it's the United Arab Emirates with Dubai and Abu Dhabi or any of these places. I mean, you had Bahrain getting hit yesterday. And as I mentioned, the desalination and water supplies in Bahrain were hit. You have Kuwait. Essentially, effectively, Kuwait's ability to produce gases, you know, has been, and export gas is effectively shut down. Kuwait's oil chief is saying the following today. The Strait of Hormuz sees practically zero traffic for the first time in 80 years. The CEO of Kuwait's Petroleum Corporation, Nawaf al-Sabah, says Iranian threats have effectively shut down shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Even though the waterway itself has not been physically closed, it's effectively shut down. Tankers have stopped passing through the strait. And again, it's the first time this has really happened in like 80 years, and it's crippling economies. I mean, when our markets open again, I mean, I think it's going to be a really bad sign. And then Lindsey Graham goes on state regime media, as you just saw, and he's like, we're going to bomb the hell out of Iran. We're going to bomb the hell out of them. And there are going to be so many people dead. I mean, I'm watching this and I'm like, dude, this guy's like getting off on this. Like this arouses this weird guy. Like, what the hell are you talking about? This is war. This is serious stuff. And when Donald Trump, I don't care about anything. You don't care about how the war is impacting the American people. You're right. You don't care about anything. You're a malignant, narcissist, psychotic, sexual predator who runs around saying the most deranged and unhinged things imaginable. You should be in a straitjacket, not anywhere near the Oval Office. What the hell is this country even doing with these sickos? Here's what Lindsey Graham had to say. Play this clip.
And we're going to win.
All
Israel
right,
and the United States, you just wait to see what comes in the next 2 weeks.
The next 2 weeks meaning what?
We're going to blow the hell out of these people. This regime is in a death row now. It is going to be on its knees. It's going to fall. And when it falls, we're going to have peace like no other time. We're going to have prosperity unlike anyone could ever imagine. Peace brings prosperity. You can't do it by talking. The Democrats criticize this operation. They didn't do a damn thing. These men and women in the military should make us all proud.
So then Iran's foreign minister is asked on Meet the Press this morning. So, you know, do you want to agree to a ceasefire with Trump? You know, they're reaching out for a ceasefire. Do you want to do a deal? And the foreign minister, Arakchi's like, no, why would we want to do that? Every time we do that, they just attack us again. We think we're in a good position here. Watch what Iran's foreign minister had to say here. Let's play this clip.
Well, let me ask you, because what conditions would Iran accept to bring this war to an end?
Well, actually, we are not at that point yet. Obviously, this time is different from the previous time. Last time we accepted the ceasefire, but you know, this time is quite different, and the reason is obvious. You know, last time they attacked us, they made aggression against us, they killed our people, they destroyed our places, and then asked for a ceasefire, and we accepted out of good faith, because we were only exercising the act of self-defense. And when the aggression was stopped, we stopped too. But, it didn't bring about peace. And now this year, they again started to attack us. And again, they are killing our people. They are killing, girl students. They are attacking hospitals, freshwater desalinations, refineries, everywhere. People have been killed. Places have been destroyed. And now they want to ask for a ceasefire again. Well, this doesn't work like this. So there should be a permanent end of the war. And unless we get to that, I think we need to, continue fighting for the sake of our people and our security.
Now, I should also be noting that Fox has been engaged in major manipulation of its viewers, as it always does. This one's, I guess, even more egregious than some of the other instances I point out, where Fox had to admit that it is airing old dignified transfer video footage on its programs all morning, because in the one that took place in Dover in the past 24 hours, Donald Trump was wearing his $55 campaign hat that he's selling. Trump refused to take off his campaign hat. Let me repeat that he's selling during the dignified transfer. So they used footage of another dignified transfer that Trump attended during his first term, where he was not wearing his campaign hat. Then they were caught and they apologized. Here, play this clip.
Before we move on, we want to acknowledge a mistake made earlier on our program. During our coverage of yesterday's dignified transfer, we inadvertently aired video from an older dignified transfer instead of the ceremony that took place yesterday. We deeply regret the error and extend our respect and condolences to the service members' families. We honor the sacrifice of those 6 American heroes. They are Captain Cody Cork, Sergeant First Class Nicola Moore, Sergeant First Class Noah T. Chens, Sergeant Declan Cody, Major Jeffrey O'Brien, and Chief Warrant Officer 3, Robert Marzon. All American heroes. We'll be right back.
Just so you can see what Fox was showing, looks like this is when it looked like Fox was airing the wrong footage intentionally. Here, play this clip.
I mean, when you look at the loss of life here, some of these folks that lost their life fighting and defending our country, very young. Iowa took a big hit here, and there's no way that you can talk about this without extreme sorrow and heartbreak.
No, it's why it's so important that we have accurate media. Right? People always ask me, well, Ben, how do you assure that your reporting is as accurate as it can be? And I tell them it's simple. I use ground news. That's why we partner with ground news for this episode and all episodes, because they're the best tool for me to stay objective with my reporting. I'll just give you an example. When there were over 260 outlets that reported about the story about, quote, woman killed by ICE in Minneapolis, identified as Renee Nicole Good, but sorting through the amount of coverage has been a nightmare, because depending on which outlet I was looking at, I get a completely different version of events. That's why I partnered with Ground News for this episode, because they're the best tool to stay objective with my reporting. Ground News is an app and a website that pulls in thousands of articles from around the world and organize them by story to show you how the left, how the center, and how the right are framing the story differently. For every story, the color-coded layout makes it easy to see the political bias of each source. I can filter for high factuality sources and see which sources are independently owned or owned by a large media conglomerate with corporate interests. This lets you compare reporting on the same issue in one place, so you can come to your own conclusions based on all of the facts. So the article I talked about, the story I talked about before, on this article, for example, Ground News quickly shows me that out of 260 articles reporting, only 17% of them are right-leaning, meaning if you tend to read right-leaning news, you may have missed the story completely, which is why Ground News even has a dedicated blind spot feed, a personal favorite of mine, which highlights stories being disproportionately covered on either side of the political aisle to help burst through that echo chamber. Because I believe in Ground News so much, we're offering you 40% off of the same Vantage plan plan that I use for my research, in the video that I just made right now. So just go click the link in the description or go to ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code up here. It's one of the biggest discounts they've ever offered. If you want to support the channel and get a clearer understanding of the world, try out Ground News. One more time, go to ground.news/MTN or scan the QR code up here. I mean, look at their blind spot feature over here where I looked up this article. Donald Trump says Cuba's communist government is nearing its end in remarks to regional leaders. Not surprising that right-wing media is disproportionately covering it because they're now warmongering to the next war now that the war in Iran is a disastrous war. Back to our report right here. I'll also show you this in this interview with the Iranian foreign minister. NBC Meet the Press asking the Iranian foreign minister, they say, Donald Trump says that Iran blew up its own elementary school. What is your response to what Donald Trump says? Stop parroting what Donald Trump says. There's been multiple separate investigations from Reuters, CNN, the New York Times, our intelligence communities telling members of Congress, America blew up that elementary school. You may not like to hear that the United States is involved in such a horrific mass casualty event, but that's the truth. Where over 150 children died, 175 people, I think, died in this. It's obvious from the aerial footage what happened and how the United States did this. It's absolutely disgusting. It's a crime against humanity. But watch how NBC frames this. Here, play this clip.
Move to the strike on the elementary school in southern Iran. It killed more than 170 people, including many children. President Trump said Iran is responsible for that strike. What is your response to what the president said?
Well, it is funny. It is our school. These are our students, our girls, and they are attacked by an American fighter, a jet fighter, and they have been killed. Why Iran is responsible? Have we started this war? Have we attacked our own people? No, we were negotiating with the United States. And in the middle of negotiations, in the middle of diplomacy, they decided to attack us. And they have attacked so many places, including schools and hospitals. And there are all evidences that this school is attacked by an American, jet fighter.
Where is the Iranian evidence that this was a U.S. attack, a jet fighter, as you say? Will you provide
If it was not U.S., then who was that? Maybe Israelis. But it is obvious who else is attacking us.
Well, let me move on.
And folks, additional information just so you can see the effects of this war. Iraqi oil output now plunging about 60% as Iran war blocks the tankers there. The country is now pumping about 1.7 million to 1.8 million barrels of oil every day, down from about 4.3 million a day before the conflict began. Qatar has essentially shut down its liquefied natural gas production. You can see Kuwait's social security building right here, the aftermath of a direct strike by Iran right there. As I mentioned before, the U.S. struck Iran's desalination plant. Iran responds by attacking Bahrain's desalination plant. Iran continues to send its ballistics and its Shahid drones into Israel right now, and that's continuing at a pretty frantic pace. A lot of these countries also in the Middle East view it as a crime to videotape the damage in their countries, and they'll say, oh, you're just sending out disinformation. So that's why a lot of the footage and a lot of the things are even getting kind of covered up right now of the actual damage that's taking place. There was news that, okay, the UAE is going to be joining the war, and the UAE is attacking Iran, and the UAE is like, we're not. From a defensive posture, we're involved, but we do not want to be involved in this from an offensive posture. A source close to the United Arab Emirates told the Jerusalem Post, in Abu Dhabi, officials are struggling to understand Israel's conduct and the nature of the briefings coming out of Israel. This concerns a sovereign state that makes its decisions independently. Publications of this kind do not help the regional effort and could cause damage to the relationship. The source added, it is inappropriate for what what it is referred to as, quote, senior Israeli officials to speak on our behalf and or spread rumors about the actions of another sovereign state, because senior Israeli leaders were saying the UAE has been helping to strike Iran, and the UAE is like, don't say that we're doing that. You're harming us by that coming from a senior Israeli state. And now it's like, oh, the UAE is now working with Netanyahu publicly like that. And so the UAE is like, yeah, we're not doing that. We're denying that we're carrying out strikes against Iran. And the chairman of UAE's national defense says, look, we're going to do this from a defensive posture, but we're not doing this offensively. So that's where we're at right now. We'll keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch network. It makes me so utterly upset when Donald Trump's like, I don't care. I don't care about anything. I mean, as much as I despise the guy, you should care about our troops. You should care about life or death stuff. And again, here's food, energy, food, airlines, transport-related insurance components, and CPI and PPI are going to get hit hard, potentially pushing headline CPI. This is like the inflation, the consumer price index above 4% by April and May. Horrible, horrible stuff. Keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million.
New Meidas merch drop. Check out the latest pro-democracy sticker packs, t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and more. All at store.meidastouch.com.